Hi, in this video I'm going to give you a basic introduction about function. So are going to discuss about function. So function is basically nothing but reusable block of code that group together in a sequence of statement or to perform a particular task. For example, like I will show you, I'm creating one function. So first of all, how to declare a function. So function is declared with using function keyword and then function name. I'm giving function name as codeWorld and then parameter. So this function don't have parameter, and then I'm writing it down as console.log, and inside this I'm writing hello. We have from code world. As you can see, how that's how we describe a function. So by function keyword and then function name, that's the area we gonna put our parameter. If there is no parameter, then we haven't declared anything, and that's the body of the function. As you can see, if I try to run it, it will not run because we have created a function but we haven't called function yet. So I'm just calling the function as code world and then try to execute with the run command. As you can see, you can print hello from the code word. If you like, why this function is used for, if just said like I need to print this statement at time, so you gonna like write console.log hello from code word 10 times is not that the suitable way you can write it. Or you can write also in such a way as code word and then just simply calling this function. And let me clear it. As you can see, if I try to run, it will give me that block of code and execute when this function gonna call. So that's how we declare a function and call it. So let's move toward the parameterize function. As I'm creating one more function as function, giving name as calculate. Okay, calculate area over here, and I'm passing the input parameter over here, which is nothing but passing length comma width, and then I'm printing console.log over here, which is nothing but length multiplied by width, and I'm clearing the console. Okay, so let us call this method as using control C, and as you can see, I'm calling this method as passing nothing. So if I pass nothing, let's see what it gonna print. See, it's present an edge, which indicate it don't have a value. So why? Because we haven't passed any value. If I pass the value 5,8 and then try to run it, as you can see 40 will print, which is length multiplied by width, which is the area. So that's how we gonna call, or we can also call with the help of this parameter. So I'm declaring some variable, let length equal to 5, and then we have let width over here equal to 8, and then I'm calling this method as calculate. We have area over here, and after area we have length multi length comma width, passing the same parameter, and as you can see 40 will print here without any error. Why? Because the value at runtime, the value of length will be replaced by 5 and the value of width will be replaced by 8. That how we gonna call that parameterize function. So we have also something like default function. I will like give you an example. As you can see prior, let me clear it out. As you can see, if I'm not providing this value, it will give me a something like that, nh, which represented don't have a value. See, and it represented don't have a value, and like if I pass in such a way equal to 0, something like that, and equal to 0, now you can just run it. You can see you got 0, and if I pass the parameter over here as 5,8, as you can see you will get 40. This is because of default parameters. So let me like show you with a very good example. So with the help of e-commerce example, which is function and then customer name, okay, and then passing the parameter over here as nothing but the name, and then I'm passing as customer. Okay, then we have console.log over here, and then printing with the help of interpolation is hello, and then that's how interpolation work, and then name over here. And as you can see, I will have to call this function as customer name, okay, and this format, and then paste it down over here, and then clear it, try to run it. As you can see, hello customer will print. Why? Because we are providing not any value. If we haven't provided any value, then name will be assigned the value of customer. If I provide this value as customer name, and then giving the name as code.me, and then hit enter, as you can see hello code.me will print over here. That's how this default parameterized constructor work. And we have also something like return data type in function. So I'm show you what is return type. When a function is called and the computer will run through the function code and evaluate the result by calling the function, the default return value is undefined. Like that's the definition point of view. I'm showing what that means. We have function, and we have okay, we have calculate area, and then passing as let area equal to length. We have multiplied by width, the very basic and common example, and passing as length comma width over here, and then try to print. So console.log, passing as calculate area over here, and then passing as 5,8. And let me clear the console for you and try to run this. It will like give you as undefined. See, it's undefined. Why? Because we have run the code, but that area will not pass to here, so that's why it's printing undefined. So let return area over here and try to run this. As you can see, you will getting the result. So try with another input as 6,9. See, that's how that return type will work. So return type is also very beneficial. You can also use in such a way, like if we have length is less than 0 and or operator or logical operator, and then we have width is less than 0, then it should return over here as return. I will like returning as input. As if you like clear it, try to pass something as 0, and you can see you are getting the result as 0. Okay, let it like it will not go to if block. If then length is okay, let me like pass it over here. Okay, let me like comment this code and try to run it. It's giving me undefined. Okay, let me like show you why it's not working. If length is okay, here we have kept a mistake. If length is less than or equal to 0, and then try to pass it, see you are getting the wrong input over here. Run one more time, see you are getting the wrong input. Why? Because if you pass any parameter, you are getting like wrong input. Why? Because we have passed the value 0 and then give something like 9, and then you are getting the result as the area. So that's how we can use return type in the function, or like just move towards our helper function. So I'm just creating as new function, so function, and just creating as C area, and then passing the same parameter as length comma width over here, and then we have return, which is nothing but length multiplied by width, and then like if it's not there, and I'm returning as C area, then passing the parameter is a length comma width, and try to run this. I will show you like what is happening in the code. Try to run this as you are getting the result. Try it with 5 different input, which is 5,8. As you can see, you are getting the result. So helper function is nothing but the helper function is something we have uh, like it's very beneficial if you write a code like bigger code. It's very beneficial to write in a smaller function to make debugging or to make reading the code easier. So helper function is nothing but a bunch of code which gonna support the main function code. That how helper function will work. And there is something, a new feature, which is nothing like, let me show you. There is a new feature in Java ES6 version which is nothing but the arrow function. Like I will show you what the arrow function means. So we have arrow function, and then we have calling this as function, and then calculate area is nothing we are like let area equal to length multiplied by width, and then I'm returning area. Then as you can see, I'm passing the parameter over here, which is length comma width over here, and then let me clear it out, and then we have console.log over here, calling this method as calculateArea. We have 5,8. Try to run this as you are getting the result. I will show you like how this arrow function will describe. So arrow function is nothing but we are creating a function as constant and then giving the value over here as calculate area. Okay, like that will be much beneficial if I copy this code in Control C and then paste it down over here for your clear understanding. I'm just commenting this code using multi-line command, which is nothing but the backslash followed by the star, and then I'm creating this function as over constant and then giving as equals input parameter, and then we have something like this, which is nothing but the arrow function. That's how arrow function will look like and work like. So let's try to run this program. See, it's running fine. If you like pass something like that 9,5, see it's giving a result is 5 9 yeah 45, something like that. Why? Because we are declaring with a new feature of ES6 with the arrow function. So arrow function we can use by this way, or you can also use it using this variable. Let will also work and where will also work, and but for the systematic way is to use the constant keyword over here, which is not changeable. As earlier I told you that where and let will be defined later also, but constant keyword will not be defined later in the code. So we have something like that. I will show you. I'm just clearing the code. So how you can use arrow functions. So we have constant and then we have function name over here, and then that's for we have like something like that, and that's for no parameter, and then we have something like that. I'm just copying the same line of code, control C, and then paste it down over here. Same, we have param, which is parameter, and then one. So no need for that braces over here. You can simply pass that one parameter in this way, or you can use this for multiple parameter in such a way like param1 comma param2, something like that. You can also pause with two or more parameter. So that's how you can use arrow function. So you can also use, like, let me show you how you can also use. So I'm just clearing the bunch of code. You can also use as constant, which is calculateArea, and then passing as length comma width, and then using the arrow function. Then after the arrow function you can return length multiplied by width, and then you are console.log over here. We have calculate area over here, and then passing as 6,9, and then try to run this. As you are getting the output as 54. Let me show you how, like, if there is only one line in the piece of code which has return statement over here, you can also write in such a way as something like that. Is no way to pass return. You can also replace in such a way. That's the very new feature of ES6 version of JavaScript. So you can also run. See, it's running fine. Why? Because we are like, if there is one line of code in something function like that, you can also use this. But if there is like more line of code, for example in future there are like 10 line of code, you can't use in such a way. You have to use the braces over here, and then passing the return parameter manually. Or you can also use something like that in more complex way. So that's it for function. In this video you have learned about that function declaration, parameter and argument passing, then default parameter, and then return type. And you have also learned about helper function and then arrow function, how we gonna use. So that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next video.